All right, hola guys, ¿qué pasó? How's everyone doing? This is Hala Pablo. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Real quick look at Bitcoin. Yeah, so I've got a macro and a micro. Macro on the left, micro on the right. This is a daily. I'm sorry, this is a 5-day over here where I have the Fibonacci extensions going. This was drawn, this fib ladder here, fib extension ladder was drawn from this range here that we had right before, this period of consolidation before the Trump pump last year. And so as you see, this marked up exactly to the 2618, which is about 113,000. Of course, we topped out a little bit beneath that, but all in all, you see it fits in this fib ladder very nicely, and it looks like we've retraced a bit back to the 272 around 104 G's. So you see now I have this on a standard. This isn't on the logarithmic anymore. This is on the just like the regular linear. And yeah, you could see the macro trend support and resistance. They're pretty clearly, I believe, delineated here. That would be the macro resistance, the macro trend support, and then here would be the macro trend support line of this 5-day channel. So if we do retrace from here, because we are in the slightly overbought area up here, up around trend resistance, we can come back down. The feasibility is high to come back at some point, kind of like how we had this like retracement here, this retracement here. Maybe have another attempt, another stab at 118,000, and then make it back down from there. One sec, let me. One second. This is Paul. All right, guys. Sorry about that. All right. Sorry about that. Had to take that call. I don't really want to mess with editing. But all right. So we have the macro trend support and resistance lines here, and so the feasibility is very high, like I said, of retracing back down. If we do, we can come back down to the 2, would be the 98, but right now we look like we're hugging the 2.272, which is 104.8, or where we are currently 105,000. So we transition over to the micro here, and then this is the 2-hour, and we have these these two reaccumulation ranges, and then this one ostensibly could be the top, where we have this kind of like this like local top out here, but it's really going to be determined about based on how the price interacts with the anchored VWAP lines. So this could be a pretty strong bottom here, a pretty strong support line. This first ice barrier, this anchored VWAP that we drew off the preliminary supply of this first reaccumulation range. So this going up here, we had the breakthrough here where it came up after this up thrust, came back down, retested the trend. Now this would be not the trend, but the range resistance, broke through the range resistance and it jumped the creek, came up, and then created another range, which we're currently in. This one marked all the way up to the second all-time high, or to the current all-time high, and then we've had this. This kind of looks like this kind of resembles like a UTAD coming down. We fell back down through the anchored VWAP here, so we call that falling through the ice here. We've come back down through the ice, and now we're came back down to about, I would say, channel or range midpoint to 0.5 Fibonacci, and now the fight now is to see if it can overcome the second anchored VWAP, which we got stopped out here, and now we're hugging this line. That line is this on the macro, the 2.272. So anyway, I'm going to be watching this to see what it does. If we're not able to overcome this ice barrier here, then we're looking at a proper, I think, head and shoulders kind of pattern, at least down to this second ice barrier, and then we'll see what happens. Now this ice barrier currently is at 100 Gs, so that's right beneath here. So I think it's quite possible, if we're not able to make any more headway here and establish this range resistance as support, then I think we're coming back down into here. Now, of course, the flip side of that is we can make another attempt, kind of like it did here. You see how we have this double top pattern here, and then like kind of like a double top here. We could come up again and make another stab, and that could bring us up above 115,000. Remember, we were looking at yesterday. Depending on the intensity of the throw over to the north, we could go all the way up to, you know, the 125, 135 Gs, just depending on the FOMO at the time, everyone rushing in. It just really depends. But right now we're just going to look at this. I say if we're able to overcome this this ice barrier here and cross over the creek, flip it from ice to creek, and then mark up again from there, then we can have this sort of double top scenario. But so we're just going to take it hour by hour, day by day, and see what it does. I'll try to be staying on top of it and also be looking at the altcoins in tandem because I still have some positions open in the alts. We've been making very good returns on the alts. Kind of like everything is just kind of simmered down for now. But boy, last week I think I made a combined almost like 80% gains last week on like 3 or 4 different alts. So, and I made videos about it. And I have all of the charts, the preliminary charts, and then the charts where I got now. All of those are saved in the archives on our Discord, private Discord trading group. So if you'd like to check them out, you'd like to take your trading up another level, kind of see how I do it, learn the patterns, learn how to identify pre-pump patterns in the altcoins, then yeah, I would recommend checking out the Discord. Subscribe to this YouTube channel if you haven't been subscribed. I'm gonna try to pick up again on tracking Bitcoin. I don't have a fractal anymore. We know that the fractal is invalidated, and so until then, I'm just going to be tracking it using these channels and these anchored VWAP barriers, and just using support and resistance, trend support and resistance, and supply and demand, and we'll just play it by ear until we can get some kind of conclusive watershed price moment to where we may be able to establish a new fractal, whether it be for continued reaccumulation or distribution if we hit another top like we did last year, and we were able to track it all the way down. So far, I don't see that. I see just battles for key junctures, support and resistance junctures, and anchored VWAP lines. So until I have something more, that's about all I got right now. Hope this helped. This isn't financial advice. Again, like, subscribe if you get anything out of these technical analysis videos, and I'm going to try to keep them extremely brief, and that's why I'm going to log off. All right, guys. God bless you. Love you. Be safe in the markets. Talk to you soon, and adios. Have a great day.